morning at Collinwood, but there is no joy in this morning, for the mistress of the great house died on the previous night. There's considerable mystery surrounding her death, mystery that can only increase before its ultimate resolution. And, at this moment, two innocent children are about to be drawn tighter into a web of terror neither can understand.
Come on, David.
What for?
Quentin wants to see you.
I don't want to see Quentin. I don't want to see anybody.
I wish you'd stop crying.
I can't help it.
I keep telling you. Your Aunt Elizabeth isn't dead.
She is.
Everybody thinks she is, but she isn't. Not really.
How do you know that?
I just know.
You're just making that up.
I am not. I'm telling you the truth.
I don't believe you.
Quentin knows. He'll tell you.
Then why isn't he here?
But he will be here. All we have to do is wait.
I don't feel like waiting. I don't feel like playing up here today.
Quentin!
Amy!
Tell David not to cry anymore. Tell him everything's going to be all right. Give us some sign.
Evening at Collinwood. As darkened shadows enshroud the great house, mysteries begin to unfold. Mysteries that grow with the encroaching darkness. For two innocent children have been possessed by the spirit of a man long dead. But perhaps there are other forces in this house, forces calling from beyond time, beyond space, trying to make contact with the land of the living.
Johnson, did you bring Vicky's things back up here?
Of course not. I took them down to the basement. You saw me carry them out.
Mrs. Johnson, look.
This can't be.
Who could have brought Vicky's things back up here?
Nobody.
I don't understand.
I do.
What?
No human hands touched those clothes after I put them away. It's a sign. It's a sign.
What are you talking about?
What's going on?
Mrs. Johnson stored Vicky's things down in the basement. Now somehow they're back up here.
It's a sign. It's a sign from her. From Vicky. She's trying to reach us, to contact us, to tell us.
To tell us what?
That she's coming back. Vicky's coming back.
On this night, not far away from the great house at Collinwood, one man will live through the most hideous terror that exists, the terror of madness. For he has witnessed something so monstrous that he may dwell forever in the dark and frightening realm of insanity.
Hello.
Chris, it's Julia Hoffman.
Hello, Dr. Hoffman. What is it?
Well, I'm at the Collinsport jail with Sheriff Patterson.
What are you doing there?
Well, the sheriff picked up Joe Haskell about an hour ago. He has him locked in a cell. I think you better get down here right away.
You want me to come down to the jail?
Well, Joe keeps talking about you. You may be the only one who can quiet him down. He's been hysterical since they brought him in.
What's he been saying?
Well, nothing coherent, but the only name he's mentioned so far is yours. That's why I think you better get down here as soon as you can.
All right. All right, I'll be there as soon as I can.
The morning of a new day at Collinwood. Plans have been made to take 2 children away on an extended trip. But there are unseen and evil forces at work within the great house. Forces that have possessed both children and decreed that they shall never leave Collinwood.
Julia, I expected you to call last night. Where have you been?
I had to go to Wincliffe.
Wincliffe?
Yes. I took Joe Haskell there early this morning.
I had no idea he was in that condition.
Neither did I, Barnabas. He had to be taken there in a straitjacket.
Oh, my God.
Had a complete mental breakdown.
Do you think it's hopeless?
I don't know.
Do you have any idea what caused it?
None. I spent most of the night with him at the Collinsport jail. It was obvious he'd had a terrifying and destructive experience, but he couldn't talk about it. He didn't say anything that made any sense.
I think we ought to talk to Maggie today and tell her.
Yes, I'll talk to her later this morning, but first I've got to get some rest.
Julia, wait. There's something I want to show you.
What is it?
Well, I'm not certain about it yet, but I think that I may have to change my plans concerning the children.
You mean keep them here?
Yes.
Why?
Julia, I have reason to believe that Vicky needs me.
Barnabas, Vicky's gone. You were there when she disappeared yourself.
I know. But last night she sent me a message from the past.
Great estate of Collinwood on a solemn afternoon. An afternoon in which even grief is momentarily forgotten. Forgotten because of a seemingly innocent photograph posed by 2 adults for the children. For when the film was developed, the picture showed not only the people, something one man knows happened over 200 years ago.
Julia, it is Vicky. The gallows. Exactly as she explained it to me. When she was in the past, she was hanged as a witch. Look at her clothes. I remember her wearing them.
I don't understand.
Well, I do. She wants my help.
Barnabas.
Well, what other explanation could there be? Oh, Julia, I have lived so long. Surely for some purpose. Surely to save her.
Barnabas, you mustn't become upset about this.
Well, what else can I do? Are you trying to tell me that there's some rational explanation? Julia, Carolyn and I posed outside that front door for David. And this was what was developed from the film.
But a photograph. Barnabas, if Vicky wanted to contact you, wouldn't there be an easier way? Couldn't she appear to you or speak to us?
No, she can't. Julia, what am I going to do? She went back to be with Peter, and that gives me pain enough. But to think that she must relive those dreadful days in that primitive cell, on trial as a witch. When it happened the first time, there was nothing I could do to save her, but now I will.
Barnabas, you can't.
But I must try.
How?
By going back there.
Barnabas.
By going back. By reliving those days when I first lived. When this house was new.
You can't.
I will find a secret to time. I will banish all those years between then and now. And I will be with Vicky at her side tonight.